Hey, Cowboys Nation, this is Cowboys Wire News, your home for breaking news, smart analysis, rumors, and film room insights. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a snap. Let's talk America's team. The NFL world is buzzing, and fans cannot stop talking about this, the Cowboys. After years of trying to rebuild their defensive line and reclaim that feared pass rush that had seemingly disappeared, have reportedly finalized a monumental deal with none other than Aaron Donald. Picture the scene, the backrooms heating up, executives exchanging glances, lawyers and agents working quietly, and suddenly, the news leaks like wildfire. The defensive monster is heading to Dallas. The rumor spread across sports channels, social media exploded with speculation, clips of Donald's plays being shared nonstop, fans going wild, and rival supporters breaking into a cold sweat. It seems the Cowboys are ready to invest heavily, not just in raw talent, but in defensive credibility. The impact isn't merely physical, it's psychological. Quarterbacks across the league are likely reviewing their tactics, recalculating angles, imagining Donald's pressure from all directions. Moves like this don't go unnoticed. They alter narratives, redefine expectations, and reshape a team that has been struggling to find its identity on defense for years. The arrival of Donald could very well be the spark that reignites the Cowboys' pass rush, and fans and analysts alike are already envisioning the chaos he will bring to opposing offenses. The buzz inside Arlington's corridors is intense, with sources speaking in hushed tones but loud enough for the news to spread. Donald's arrival isn't just about sacks and tackles, it's about leadership, a winning mentality, a presence that commands respect instantly. Coaches around the league are studying possible defensive line combinations, strategizing adjustments, imagining the chemistry that Aaron brings with him, chemistry that transforms routines, reshapes hierarchies, and most importantly, instills confidence in a defense that has clearly been lacking. While some critics attempt to downplay it, arguing that even the best talent doesn't always shine instantly in a new environment, expectations among fans and analysts are sky high, anticipating that Aaron Donald will ignite a long-dormant defense. Every tweet, every highlight clip, every pass play is being recontextualized through the lens of Donald's rumored arrival. The memory of every missed pressure and failed sack is now contrasted with the anticipation of the monster storming the field in Dallas. Analysts, social media, and fan forums are saturated with debate, each person trying to project Donald's immediate impact backstage in the NFL. The speculation is so thick it transforms every meeting, every press conference, into a game of hints and subtle clues, never fully confirming, but keeping the media and fans on edge. Journalists in Dallas, coffee in hand, scrutinize every gesture, every expression, every practice caught on cell phone cameras, interpreting them as secretive strategic moves. In this landscape, Aaron Donald becomes almost a living legend, a force no one dares underestimate but everyone wants to study closely. The rumor isn't just about his arrival, it's about the cascading effect it could have: contracts, salary cap adjustments, and even recruitment strategies for the coming years. Because a talent of this caliber never arrives alone. Each subtle decision becomes part of a larger chess game unfolding silently behind the scenes, and the entire league seems to hold its breath, anticipating how Dallas might leverage the presence of one of the NFL's most feared defenders. The effect on the Cowboys transcends the physical, it's emotional, psychological, and even media-driven. Instantly, the perception of the team shifts, and fans begin imagining a future with Donald on the roster. Supporters share old clips of legendary sacks. Analysts debate defensive combinations once thought impossible, and on social media, memes and discussions explode, all centered on one fact: Aaron Donald in Dallas is a game changer. The buzz is tangible, expectations are sky high, and every small movement by the team is now interpreted under the shadow of this extraordinary talent. The atmosphere in Arlington is electric, and even without official confirmation, the collective imagination is running wild, projecting victories, turnovers, and iconic defensive moments. Every discussion online seems to fuel the anticipation, creating a self-sustaining cycle of hype. Meanwhile, the rest of the league reacts quietly, adjusting strategies, observing player combinations, and reassessing every quarterback with a new sense of urgency. Rumors of past negotiations, alternatives that never materialized, and failed defensive schemes suddenly take on new significance in light of Donald's potential arrival. Every whispered conversation in team offices, every text message between executives, Every strategic meeting is now viewed as part of the larger narrative, a careful orchestration potentially centered around one man's arrival. The NFL ecosystem seems to pivot silently, acknowledging the looming presence of a player whose talent can change games, seasons, and perhaps entire defensive philosophies. Ultimately, fans and analysts reach a consensus: if Aaron Donald truly lands in Dallas, the Cowboys are on the verge of a transformative defensive era. It's not just about sacks or tackles, it's about redefining identity, elevating expectations, altering game dynamics, and turning the team into a feared defensive powerhouse. The rumor has already embedded itself in sports culture, even in its speculative stage. Everyone from fans to analysts to opponents is watching closely, eager to see if this potential signing will become one of the most impactful moves in recent NFL history. Donald is not just a player in this context. He is the centerpiece of a narrative that could redefine Dallas' defensive legacy. The speculation now shifts to how the Cowboys will maximize Donald's talent. Discussions swirl about chemistry with other defensive players, potential line combinations, and how offensive lines will cope with a relentless, multifaceted pass rusher. His arrival isn't just a tactical adjustment, it's cultural, reshaping hierarchies, creating natural leaders, and transforming the locker room atmosphere. Podcasts, opinion columns, and forums overflow with theories about blitz schemes, multi-level pass rushes, and imagined plays where Donald dominates. Fans and analysts alike are visualizing the impact before it even happens, highlighting the almost mythical anticipation surrounding one of the NFL's most feared defenders. Financial and strategic implications are dissected in detail. Contract structuring, salary cap maneuvers, and future free agent moves are all being evaluated through the lens of Donald's potential impact. Rumors indicate the franchise is willing to bend rules and adjust plans, investing heavily not only in Donald but in fortifying the entire defensive unit, ensuring his arrival catalyzes lasting change. Every small decision by the Cowboys is now interpreted as a move to maximize Donald's effect, and the media thrives on this, examining every angle and creating narratives even before the first official announcement. Meanwhile, fans are imagining games with Donald in action, quarterbacks under constant pressure, plays collapsing, offensive lines struggling to cope with his speed and strength. Social media is inundated with memes, highlight reels, and simulations of possible matchups, generating a narrative mixing excitement, suspense, and collective anticipation. Few players in NFL history have had the ability to shift moods, perceptions, and strategies as profoundly as Aaron Donald, and the rumor alone is producing that effect. The rest of the league isn't idle either. Opponents study footage, anticipate combinations, and adjust game plans. Even the slightest possibility of Donald joining Dallas influences draft strategy, free agent recruitment, and long-term planning. Coaches feel the pressure to prepare responses because Donald's impact isn't merely physical. It's mental, emotional, and strategic, forcing the NFL to adapt to what could soon be a new reality. Media outlets are keeping the rumor alive, crafting continuous narratives about the Cowboys' defensive future, interviewing former players to analyze potential impact, and speculating on how Donald's chemistry with existing defensive talent might evolve. Even without official confirmation, the speculation cycle persists, keeping fans, analysts, and rivals all intensely engaged, dissecting every small detail as evidence of the potential deal. In the end, consensus is building. If Aaron Donald lands in Dallas, the NFL will witness a defensive transformation unlike anything in recent memory. It's about more than just sacks. It's about identity, expectations, strategy, and elevating a franchise to a feared defensive powerhouse. The rumor has embedded itself in sports culture, captivating everyone invested in the league. Even in anticipation, fans and analysts alike are glued to every report, eager to witness what could be one of the most impactful moves in recent NFL history. Aaron Donald is no longer just a player in this scenario. He is the central figure in a narrative poised to redefine Dallas' defensive legacy. The excitement surrounding Aaron Donald's potential arrival is starting to ripple beyond Dallas, creating waves in every corner of the NFL. Fans of other teams are watching nervously, analyzing every Cowboys press release, every training camp update, every subtle hint that might confirm the deal. Social media feeds are flooded with reactions, from disbelief to awe, as highlight reels of Donald dismantling offensive lines circulate endlessly. Analysts speculate endlessly about how his presence will alter the Cowboys' defensive strategies, Imagining scenarios where quarterbacks are pressured from every conceivable angle, forcing hurried throws, turnovers, and chaotic plays that could redefine entire games. Even casual observers are suddenly invested, caught up in the narrative of a defense being reborn around one of the league's most dominant forces. The buzz is infectious, almost impossible to ignore, as the rumor takes on a life of its own, morphing into collective anticipation. Meanwhile, the locker room dynamic in Dallas is under scrutiny as well, with insiders suggesting that Donald's leadership and intensity could elevate the mindset of every defensive player. Conversations among coaches, position groups, and training staff are now being framed around how best to integrate a player of his caliber. Young players are likely imagining themselves learning directly from Donald, trying to absorb not just technique but mentality, resilience, and the mental toughness required to dominate at the highest level. Veteran players, on the other hand, are discussing adjustments, rotations, and schemes, preparing for a shift that might change roles, responsibilities, and the way defensive success is measured. The rumor is more than a story, it's shaping behavior, expectations, and preparation long before a single snap is taken. Before we roll on, subscribe to Cowboys Wire News, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Your support keeps the Dallas Cowboys updates coming. Tell us what you think in the comments. Off the field, the media circus surrounding Aaron Donald's rumored move is creating an entirely new layer of attention for the Cowboys. Every interview, every training update, every subtle interaction becomes fodder for speculation. Podcasts dedicate entire episodes to break down possible lineups. Twitter threads dissect each hint, and sports networks scramble to confirm the story from anonymous sources, creating an endless cycle of hype. The narrative extends beyond tactics. It touches branding, ticket sales, merchandise, and even sponsorships, as the mere possibility of Donald in Dallas elevates the franchise's profile in ways few off-season moves ever have. Rumor and reality begin to blur, and fans eagerly latch onto every scrap of information, building anticipation for what could be a season-defining shift. Finally, the collective imagination of fans and analysts alike is operating at full throttle, projecting outcomes that range from immediate dominance to long-term cultural impact. The Cowboys, even in the speculative stage, are being viewed as a team capable of redefining defensive expectations in the league. Every potential matchup against top quarterbacks becomes a mental chessboard. Every defensive snap is visualized with Donald at the center, and every highlight reel from past seasons is suddenly relevant again. The rumor has transcended the realm of simple player movement. It's about identity, transformation, and the thrilling uncertainty that keeps the NFL endlessly compelling. With Aaron Donald possibly heading to Dallas, the stage is set for a story that could dominate conversations for years, and everyone wants to witness it firsthand. Finally, the overall excitement surrounding this potential signing underscores the power of rumor in shaping sports culture, even without official confirmation. The idea of Brian Burns leading Dallas defense has catalyzed a wave of discussion, analysis, and anticipation that few transactions achieve. Fans, commentators, and insiders alike are caught up in a whirlwind of what-if scenarios, from projected sack totals to hypothetical championship runs, and the rumor has become a story that dominates both casual conversation and professional analysis. The energy is infectious, inspiring imaginative projections about game-changing plays, defensive alignments, and the evolution of the Cowboys' identity. Rumors suggest that Burns' influence could extend beyond physical performance, affecting leadership, locker room morale, and the way the team approaches preparation, strategy, and competition. In short, this narrative transcends mere player acquisition, becoming a lens through which the football world can examine culture, identity, and the tantalizing possibilities that accompany elite talent. As the speculation grows, so too does the sense that Dallas may be on the verge of a defensive transformation, with Brian Burns at the epicenter, commanding attention, reshaping expectations, and igniting imaginations from coast to coast. That's a wrap from Cowboys Wire News. For breaking Cowboys updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Tell us your take in the comments.